Hey y'all. So I wanted to talk to you today about something that was in the news recently that some of you may not have heard about, and it's important. I'm not going to turn into a conspiracy theory channel or, the sky is falling or be negative, because that is not the kind of channel we have. That's not the kind of people we are. Yes, we do believe in preparing for things that might happen, whether it be a hurricane, um, or, a freak cold snap that we might have that might shut our power off. These are things that happen here in Texas. We don't have the big blizzards or anything that you guys might face, but you will have the potential to face your own issues that you should be prepared for if a grid goes down or the stores run out of stuff, shortages. You just never know these days. So what I wanted to discuss was the fact that India has banned the export of all of their non-basmati rices. So the important thing here is that India exports about 40% of the world's rice. A lot of countries depend heavily on these on importing this rice. And now that India has banned it, we're left with a bit of a conundrum. Now, India says that they banned it to fight inflation because rice prices were getting too high for their locals. They've also had a lot of flooding during monsoon season, so it's destroyed a lot of crops. So that too is part of the equation. But regardless, global rice prices are expected to soar in the near future. We are already seeing people rushing to the stores and emptying the shelves of rice. So about a year ago, I was canning up rice and beans and pasta, and I had people questioning why when there's always rice available on the shelves. Well, the entire reason that we prepare is because you never know when there's going to be a shortage. So I don't mean to say I told you so, but yeah, I told you so. Now, global prices on rice are expected to soar in the very near future. The poorer countries that rely on the rice, like Africa and Asia, are going to feel the bigger brunt of this, but we still will be affected here in America. Some people are going to say, well, I don't eat rice, so this doesn't affect me. There's rice in a lot of things that we don't think about. So think about your favorite Mexican restaurant and all those, can have, usually there's rice as a side, the Mexican rice. If you go out to eat Asian food, there's usually some sort of rice. Um, and at home, it's a cheap product. Maybe some of y'all don't eat as much beans and rice as we do here in the South, but beans, rice, and cornbread are a staple here. Um, so yeah, it may not affect you immediately, but in the long term, as more and more things, so let's say you don't eat rice, but when rice runs out, everybody runs to buy up all the pasta, so it trickles down. So the shortage starts here and moves on to them buying up other things to make up for the rice they no longer have in their diet. See what I'm saying? So just because you don't eat rice doesn't mean it's not going to affect you too when you go to buy your favorite pasta and it's no longer on the shelf. So where does the shortage start, and where does it end? We don't know, and we don't know how bad it will get. But if you're not preparing for shortages, then you're not paying attention, because we don't know what the next shortage will be. We've had all kinds of shortages, and there's going to be people that say, well, not in my area, I haven't ran out of anything. So you didn't notice a baby formula shortage because you don't have a baby. Good for you. But eventually you're going to experience some sort of shortage. We just know. It's just the way that the world is right now with, the Ukraine-Russia war, and the weather patterns. Just there's so many factors that go into this that we don't know what the next shortage will be. And this video wasn't to be an I told you so. It's not to be an alarmist or to cause people to go out and panic buy. Um, but it is a video to remind you why we do what we do, which is so that we're not left having to try to eat acorn flour. I have lots of oak trees. I have lots of acorns at certain times of the year, and I personally know how to make acorn flour. Do you? But regardless, if you're not learning, if you're not learning how to think outside the box, if you're not learning how to can things that you wouldn't normally can, you're going to be at a disadvantage at some point. I can almost promise you that. But anyway, let's not go out and buy all the toilet paper and rice, even though the shelves in some areas are already empty. But let's start to think about ways that we can put a little extra away for times that are going to be lean for many people. But anyway, I have to get to work. Thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.